Matt Rhule wrapped up a huge press conference earlier today, and it looks like the Husker spring game will be returning this year. Not in the way that you think it will. It's going to look completely different. We'll talk about it. Matt Rhule also disclosed a walk-on breakout player who's in the mix to start this year, Nebraska's portal philosophy for the spring period, and so much more. And then we'll cap off the video talking about a 4-star defensive back who's on the verge of flipping to the Big Red, along with a rumor mill portal update. Who is Nebraska going after? Who's going to leave? And so much more. So really quick, this is a jam-packed update. Hit that like button if you're fired up, or if you're just having a good Thursday, hit that like button. I know I am. And really quick, if you support what I'm doing here, daily Husker football content, it helps me out more than you would know, and it takes 2 seconds. Please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. But without further ado, let's get into it, going over this jam-packed update. I want to get things going with Matt Rhule's press conference, in which he disclosed that the Husker red and white spring game will be returning on Saturday for the Husker games, but it won't look like it has in the past. Dylan Raiola, Emmett Johnson, Ja'Cory Barney, those type of players will not participate in this red-white scrimmage. They're still going to participate in some of the other things going on in Husker games, but not the actual scrimmage itself. Matt Rhule said that the majority of the players competing in this scrimmage are going to be players competing to get on that 105. So guys at the bottom of the depth chart, the walk-ons, the lower scholarship players, they're going to be competing, and if they do in fact get cut, a lot of them will get cut. They'll have some good film to show some of these next schools they're going to transfer to. So right off the bat, I know a lot of people were like, oh, this isn't going to really show us anything. This isn't intriguing. We don't really get to see Dylan. We don't get to see Emmett. I think that's the wrong mindset. I'm actually really excited about this, new red and white game, because we're going to see a lot of players at the bottom of the depth chart. We're going to see a lot of freshmen potentially playing this game. There's going to be a lot of spillage. And yes, the majority of the players in this red and white game, they're going to be walk-ons. They're guys who are going to get cut and won't be here in the fall. But there's going to be spillage. For example, I project 0 running backs to get cut from Nebraska going into the fall. Okay, Emmett Johnson, Connor Booth, Quinn Knives, Mekhi Nelson, Jamarian Parker, Kenneth Williams, all 6 of those guys will be here in the fall. But 2 or 3 of those guys have to play in the scrimmage because they don't have any other running backs. So there's going to be some spillage, which means we're going to see guys like Jamarian Parker in this scrimmage. We're going to see guys like, again, Kenneth Williams. We're going to see potentially even a TJ Lateef, Cortez Mills, and Isaiah Mosey, because you don't have enough players, you don't have enough walk-ons to have a full scrimmage. So you're going to see some spillage with some of these freshmen, with some of these younger players, with some of these other scholarship players fighting for reps. So in my opinion, this is really intriguing. That was always the best part about the spring game. The cool part about the spring game wasn't seeing guys like Dylan. It wasn't seeing guys like Emmett, because we already know those guys are really good players. Okay, those guys are proven talents. We already have seen them on Saturday. So I wasn't intrigued about seeing Dylan. Maybe a little bit I was, but more than anything, I want to see some of these younger guys get opportunities, and I want to see them compete in the scrimmage atmosphere. That's what we get to see now with this 105 scrimmage going on, red and white. So really, really excited about that. Again, primarily it will be walk-ons, but we're going to see some of these younger guys compete, and that's going to be a good thing. So I should mention, it will not be televised. There's going to probably be no clips on social media. Again, I will not be in attendance, but I'll hear things. I'll probably see some clips that shouldn't be out there. So I'll keep you guys posted on what happens in that scrimmage, along with everything during the Husker games. Again, so make sure to subscribe for the latest. I want to talk about the other things that Matt Rhule disclosed, because he disclosed some big nuggets in this press conference. Jacob Bauer, he mentioned, who is a walk-on linebacker going into his 3rd year with the Huskers, is in the mix to start at linebacker. Matt Rhule said specifically there's going to be some personnel sets where Jacob Bauer's on the field a lot. Now, this guy's 6'1", 220 pounds, coming in from California. He's actually a pretty good walk-on pickup. He probably could have went to FCS, but he decided to go to Nebraska to bet on himself. Turned out to be a pretty good player so far. Now, am I buying that Jacob Bauer's actually going to get on the field a lot? Probably not. Matt Rhule likes to hype up some of these walk-ons, and they usually don't actually play. But what this does tell me about Jacob Bauer, because he has 3 years of eligibility remaining, it tells me that by the time he's a senior, he might start for the Huskers, or he'll be in the mix to get a lot of significant reps. It should be noted, John Bullock was a walk-on for the Huskers, and by the time he turned into a senior, he was one of the better linebackers in the country. So, again, feel good about that with Jacob Bauer. Again, 6'1", 220 pounds. He's not incredibly, physically impressive. He's not super tall. He's not super big. He's not super fast. He's just a scrappy walk-on linebacker. And sometimes that's all you need in the Big Ten. And he's a guy who does all the right things in practice. So I wanted to mention that around him. He also talked about, Matt Rhule, why he isn't recruiting Nebraska as much as previous coaching staffs like Scott Frost, like Mike Riley, like even Bo Pelini. And he said this without really saying it. just looks like the quality isn't great in the state of Nebraska. It's actually one of the best recruiting classes we've seen from the state in a very long time. There's over 12 guys in the state who have FBS Power 4 offers, which is ridiculous. But Nebraska's only offered 3 of those guys. And Matt Rhule just said he's trying to compete with Ohio State. He's trying to compete with the best of the teams in the Big Ten. He wants to find guys out of the high school ranks who can come here and compete right away. And he said it without really saying it, but he feels like a lot of these guys can't. So if you're asking, why is Nebraska not offered Jet Chamala? Why is Nebraska not offered Amarian Jackson? Why is Nebraska not offered, such and such player from Nebraska? It's pretty clear that the Huskers coaching staff does not believe they can come in here and compete right away. So take that for what you will. That's what they believe. They've made it very clear. They made it very evident. And he said that head on today. I also wanted to mention, Matt Rhule talked about the transfer portal. He said that he feels really good about the team right now, that he feels like this team he can roll out tomorrow and they'll win 8-9 games. But he also said this, they're going to do their due diligence, and they would be stupid not to go after some of these guys. So Matt Rhule did not close the door. He didn't say, nope, we feel good about the roster, we're not going to take anybody. Again, we're going to be selective here. We're not going to go out and take 5, 6+ guys. We're going to probably take 2 or 3, but we will take somebody in the spring portal. Running backs, the one that I really expect. Again, they've already been linked to Chamar Brown. They've been linked to LJ Johnson, a couple others. So I expect them to take a running back in the portal. And then, talking about some other positions that have been rumored for Nebraska. Tight end, there's been a lot of rumors that Nebraska is going to pursue a tight end. I don't know if I buy that. There's been a lot of rumors, a lot of inside, some message boards, beat reporters. They say that Nebraska might take a tight end. I just don't think they will. You got Hoiberg, you got Lindenmeyer, you got Card Nelson, you got Mac Markwa you feel good about. And at the end of the day, Dana Holgorsen doesn't utilize tight ends as much as Satterfield did. So we're only probably going to run 1 tight end, 2 tight ends for the majority of the ball game. So I just don't think we're going to go after tight end. I don't think that rumor has any substance to it. Nebraska has also been linked to multiple edge rushers and 3 techniques in the portal, so I'd expect Nebraska to probably take a linebacker, if not defensive lineman. We'll talk about that in the weekend, so expect running back, edge rusher, and then maybe 1 other, but those are the positions Nebraska is pursuing. All right, really quickly, I want to give you a recruiting update because there was a big significant news earlier today. This is Devin Jackson, longtime Florida commit that Nebraska's been trying to flip for some time now. He decommitted from the Gators this morning. Again, this is a 4-star safety coming out of Orlando, Florida, 6'2", 200 pounds. Addison Williams loves this guy's game. He's a hard hitter, but he's a guy who's rangy, super fast, can go up and get interceptions, good tackler. He has a good build on him. So he has a lot of really, really quality offers. Again, he's kind of a low 4-star, but you look at the offer list. Again, you got Miami in here. You got Florida. You got, Florida State, Georgia offered him, LSU offered him, Mizzou, Oregon offered him. So he has some legit offers, and he penned out an official visit to Nebraska after he decommitted today. So it looks like right now it's down to Miami, Nebraska for this guy. I would expect the Huskers to land him along with Danny Odom, who's one of his best friends and teammates. So I want to give you guys an update there around Devin Jackson. One last thing I want to give you guys an update around 2 former Husker wideouts who are in the transfer portal have committed elsewhere. Hartley Gilmore, guess where he's going? He's going back to Kentucky. It was announced today that he will be a Wildcat once again. You wish him the best of luck. Hopefully he can figure out his stuff off the field. I'm just telling you this, though. If I'm a Kentucky Wildcat, if I'm one of those players, and Hartley Gilmore walks in fall camp after he completely quit on the team, I'm going to feel some sort of way. So hopefully he can continue to build a connection with his teammates. And again, wish him nothing but the best of luck. Hopefully he can succeed because he's a really talented player. And then it was announced that Alex Bullock, who was not with the team all of spring ball, he quit football because he graduated. And then he decided, hey, I want to enter the portal. He entered the portal, I believe, 2 days ago. And he is committed to South Dakota State. So you wish Alex Bullock the best of luck. 1 year of eligibility remaining. Longtime Husker walk-on. Again, hopefully he can go and succeed there. But he wasn't with the team at all during the spring. So this wasn't like an unexpected loss. He wasn't going to be in this team no matter what. So want to give you guys that quick update, everything that's going on. The press conference today, recruiting news, and portal news. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm going to keep you guys posted with everything I hear with the transfer portal. It's going to be a busy week. Let me know your comments down below. Hey, if you made this far in the video, hit that like button and subscribe. As always, folks, go Matt Rhule. See you in the next one.